Hi guys. So I get asked a lot how I organise my photos, which is not a very technical system by any means, and how I do my albums. So I thought I would have a quick run through and show you how I do things. It's nothing real technical, but it's always nice to see how people do things. So I will flip you over and show you my way of doing it. So hang on a sec. All right, so I just have a little shelf here. So this is actually, let me show you the entire shelf. So that is, live camera is not my thing. That is my entire shelf. So this side here, that's not mine. That's my cousin's, my daughter's, because her little desk is there. The mess is worse than mine, seriously. But the rest of everything else here is mine. That box down the bottom is craft stuff for the kids. But other than that, as you can see, this is mine. Now, this black striped box is my photo box and just sits there. Now, I don't have a great deal of organising to it at the minute. I just got a new Snapfish order and I haven't sorted them out. Whoops. Spinning around, those coloured manila folded, whatever they are here, I actually sorted them out last night. They've got all memorabilia in them, so I've sorted them into family and the 3 kids and popped things like their school awards and whatnot in there. And yes, I'm uploading. So this is inside the box. It's just a photo box, and I basically just have little snap-lock bags with the kids' names on them. And then this is like and then there's family ones. And whatnot. So what I do is I go through, like I just got an order, so I need to sit down and go through them all, sort them into the corresponding piles, put the date on the back of them, and then pop them in these snap-lock bags. Now, I also have in here spare photos, so I either the kids can use those, or I use them for art journaling, depending, and then some older, like, photos that I've had printed and I have found in the deep, dark depths of organising cupboards and things. So, yeah. So nothing too technical really in organising there. So that is that. And that, as I said, sits on my shelf next to my desk. And then I will try and slowly spin you around. You sort of get a glimpse of my room, my space. So just my Kmart trolleys, my big, industrial shelf thing, ladder shelf, whatever they call it. And then I have this black, hang on, let me hop up. Hang on, let the old girl up. So I have this black shelf here. Now, this came from Bunnings. This isn't an IKEA one. It's from Bunnings. It fits my albums in it, and as you can see, my paper stacks and things like that there, which is perfect. This one here on the other side that I had, I think it's a Kmart one. It doesn't fit the 12 by 12 albums in it, which is a bit of a bummer. So it's good for storage of other things. So let me get you down to my albums. Hang on. All right, so let's start here. So I have an old post-bound album that I started originally. That's our family, sort of couples turned family album. Then I have 2 family albums from 2016. That's done now. I think I've caught 2016 up, I think. Then I have my December daily for 2016. I've just popped it so that it's in order. 2017 album. And then I have a second album. Does it go there? Can't remember. Where is it? Oh, this green album, which I've just got. Zoo Lily, if you're familiar with the app, had a big sale, and I got some albums and a big box of page protectors really cheap. So I ordered 2 more that I needed. So this one will become, if I can fit it up here, which I don't know if I can, I will, but that's to finish off 2017 because I'm like way behind. And then on the next shelf, so I do family albums and I do my kids' albums. So here my son has this black one, which you probably can't see. It's another post-bound. It was the original ones I started with. Book 2, book 3. Now, these aren't technical labels, clearly, and these albums are just from, I think this one's from Lincraft. These are your proper Project Life ones. This is a Project Life one here with no little taggy piece, but I'll work that out. At the moment, I'm not too fussed on tags. I know it looks dodgy or whatever, but I'm looking at them, and so are my kids, and that's all that matters. So then down the bottom I have my daughter's album. She's now onto a 3rd album. So 1, 2, and 3. And then these are my 2 projects for my niece and my new nephew. So that's Archie's album and Miss Thea's album. And then I have a new one I started here, which is 2018. So I'm trying to keep on top of that. I actually have to do a title page for it. So that is a project, maybe one night on the lounge or something. So what I'm going to do is quickly show you how the rough thing is. I try to do things chronologically. However, my son's album and my stepdaughter's albums, sorry, I missed hers, are as chronological as I can get them, especially her albums, just because obviously not being her mum, I don't have all her photos. I have found some, so it's chronological from her life with us, like with me, in it. But yeah, so, and his is, as I said, as chronological as I could get. So yeah, but my daughter's album is probably a really good one to show you. Give me a second and I will get it out. All right, so, making some space. All right, so this is just a Lincraft album I got many moons ago. Now, so I've started hers. This is her title page. So basically when we found out we were pregnant, and just some photos of her from ultrasounds and things like that. So basically from the very beginning, like even that photo there where we found out I was pregnant. And that's what that is. As you can see on the back there, yada, yada, yada. All right, and then basically this is, as I said, as chronological. I am missing stuff. I realise I need to go through, and I won't show you everything, but as you can see here, then there's photos of, you know, my belly growing, blah, 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 and those sorts of things, and, you know, this layout here waiting for baby, her setup and stuff, so, and then her birth. So, you know, in utero, prior to, and then birth, you know, meeting everyone. So what I try and do is any photos I've snapped of her with anyone, so like here where she's meeting like her aunts and uncles, great grandmother, great auntie, things like that. So I try and keep them. And that's the other thing, I try and do it chronologically, but when I've got a theme to some of my photos, for example, this one here is about like family. Let me like flat that might be. So this is her with her cousin as a baby, then as they're a bit older, with her great auntie, my sister, you know, and things like that. And here, these aren't chronological by any means, but the overall theme for that page is being with family. So, as I said, I scrap chronologically, but I also keep in mind that there might not be, you know, there's no point in having one page on each of these photos, really, is there? Because you're just taking up unnecessary space. So I will put a theme to it. So, you know, like here is, I think, about grandparents. So again, these are all photos, similar theme, like that one's not from Christmas, and neither is that one, or these two. But the rest are, you know, it's the theme of the page is meeting you, being with your family. You know, some little family shots there. And then here with her little friend, her first little friend. You know, more friends. So this is continuation of that project, like pocket page, and then there's friends of mine that she met when she was a baby, those sorts of things. You know, this one is, as you can see by the title, Fun and Cuddles. So it's just all random sort of photos. And they're all within a certain period of time, because this was done a little while back. So, you know, obviously up until she's 5 now, or nearly 5. So these photos, obviously when she was a bit younger. Then I go into Christmases. So in amongst that will be, somewhere is her first birthday. So like with the big kids albums, what I've done is, you know, sort of the first part, initial pages of their life, and then I've gone into Christmas. So again, in chronological order, Easter, as much chronological order, birthdays, you know, birthdays, those sorts of things, you know, and then other events that might have occurred. There's swimming there, so that sort of fits in. Oh, can't hold the camera properly, sorry guys. So if you can see, like Halloween, and then just moments in time. So as I said, it is chronological, it is based around theme. That is sort of where I go. Like this is a holiday, family holiday back in 2014 or 15 I think. So it just sort of fits in the timeline of things as much as possible. Same with that page and that one. Then that one come after that. So, you know, like those sorts of holidays. So, yeah, I can scrap in a variety of ways. But this is probably the best album to show you because for the most part, it is in the way I scrap. So, theme and chronological order. And as I said, you know, then we get into some of these other things. I love this page. So, you know, that's 2016. And now when I scrap, because I'm not scrapping necessarily major events, I will try and pop it into where it belongs, you know, with the date of things. So again, that chronological order. Does that make sense? Or did I just completely confuse everyone? So there's a little snippet of how I store my albums there. Whee. Now, clearly, I'm going to need to make more space. So I'm looking at how I can either rearrange this to get another shelf here. I don't think I want to put one up the top because we've got it really organised with the printers and it will sit above the wall there. My other option is we've got some space next to my TV out there. So I'm thinking if I can get another one, maybe as big and stands it upright, then the albums can move out there in the main area where, you know, people can pull them down and have a look. I'm flipped you around again. So I kind of hope that kind of made sense. As I said, I, for the most part, will scrap chronologically, but there are pages that are going to have a whole heap of different photos on it, like I showed you in my daughter's album, so it doesn't necessarily have to go chronological. It might fit in with something else. I just pop it in her album with the dates on them. I try and date all my layouts from when the pictures were taken, so we can see, you know, when she's older, she can go, oh, yeah, was that, you know, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, so it's a bit mixed and matched. I used to just be chronological and event. So, you know, first Christmases and Easters and birthdays and christenings and, you know, whatever else would come up. But then there's other things that obviously come into it for me now, like, you know, meeting family or grandparents or, you know, school things and school awards and stuff. I don't have a section in their albums that are just for school stuff. But I will, like I said, keep the Christmas and the Easters and the birthdays all together so that they are in chronological order for the kids to look at when they get older. Yeah, I think that's it. But yeah, I hope I answered some of my viewers' questions as to my photo organisation, which is so not technical, but it works for me. Sometimes I think I want a better way of doing it than just shoving them in those bags, but for the most part, it has worked that way. For me, it keeps them all together. Nothing's just lying around in the box there. It's a nice, easy box to store away. Doesn't matter what the size of the shelf is. Fits perfectly, and I stack stuff on it, so it's great. Yeah, and as for my albums, I think that answers the questions as to how I organise them, what's my thought process in doing things. But if you have a question, if I've confused the hell out of you, I do apologise. Feel free to leave a comment and ask me how I do things. It's not a problem. And yeah, I hope that you have liked this video. Leave me a thumbs up. And subscribe if you have stumbled across this organisation video. And I will see you next time with another process video or walkthrough video, whatever. Yeah, so leave me any questions and I will see you next time. Bye.